Hey y'all, I'm Mimi, aka the Piscean Seer, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Okay, like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, it is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all beings of the highest and purest white light with the best interest of me and the collective at heart only. You are always and forever welcome into my readings. Okay, please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Piscean Seer family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Okay, so this is a Yeshua Jesus reading. Okay, so I got notes, but we're starting with overall energy. So the bottom of the decks, we got teamwork. Okay, so you definitely working as a team with the divine. Okay, I tell you this all the time. This is what you know. Okay, there could be some mischief going on around you. I feel like your self acceptance is very important to your sacred plan at this time. You know, like just continue to pay attention to your. I said stay attention. Okay, stay at attention. You know, like ready to take those orders from God. You know, and try to keep your composure and just honestly communicate with yourself and people around you and the divine on what it is that you want. Okay, we got trickster at the bottom of this deck. It says the light attribute says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. You know, I feel like you could be a little unpredictable, you know, in the best way at this time. And that's really important. You know, the shadow attribute talks about manipulating others through duplicity. I don't really know what is duplicity. I really don't. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know what that means. I see 929. 929 could be significant to you, okay? Let's see. What is the trickster doing? It says deceitfulness, double dealing. It says he was accused of duplicity and branded a traitor, okay? And it says doubleness, okay? So we talk about some two-faced energy, okay? We got Don Juan right here in the shapeshifter, okay? Coming after the alchemist, okay, the child divine, but you are a warrior, you know, and God is the true judge at the end of the day. So Yeshua was saying, like, it's not much to worry about, you know. And I was like, Yeshua, you gonna talk about a trickster? And he's like, for a good cause, you know, it's for a good cause. So it's like there's a real need for you to just like ignore it, you know, like give it to God and let it be handled is what he's saying, you know, that turn the other cheek energy, like stay very calm, hold your composure, okay? That's so important. That's why, you know, he's saying there's so much in the Bible about that, okay? About him not being a martyr in a negative way, you know, like he didn't have no addiction to self-pity. He wasn't all like, woe is me throughout the entire journey. Instead, he let those moments where people tried to make him a martyr to learn something and to transcend the nature of service to himself and to his cause. So what's the overall energy? Father, okay? Leaning on the Father at all times, you know, but also you hold like the fire of him within you. You have a beautiful talent for creating and supporting life, you know, and it's up to you to be this positive guiding light within the tribal unit that you have been placed within, you know, and to leave out any dictatorial feelings of the need to control things, you know what I'm saying? And being very careful not to abuse your authority in any way, because I feel like you're in a very powerful position at this time, is what he's saying. So much responsibility has been placed in your hands. So it's up to you to continue to learn and transcend. He's saying, like, you know, a doctor or a nurse or something like that, like they have to constantly re-educate themselves because things in the medical field are ever changing. So you as a healer, you know, you have to keep yourself up on, you know, the healing modalities, learn as much as you can on how to increase the fire that burns within you, you know. What else? Whoa. We got friendships and unions, okay? So I think that's really an important thing he's saying, like this tribal union, these friendships and unions that you make throughout this life, like It's so important for you to find some kind of harmony, even if you're forced to be around people who are in their shadow. He's saying there's always a lesson for transcendence to be learned there. There's always a harmonic way to resolve each and every situation that you step into and still be able to feed your fire. This says, let my intuition always guide me when things seem unclear. And look, creation. It's like the more you create, the more you focus on your skills and on improving yourself, the more you get paid. You get paid for your skills. You attract money, you attract power, and you attract respect just by, respecting divine time and having forgiveness and understanding for others. So just be very aware of that. Like, really try to have this outlook on life and on everyone, that they are a friend to you. You are in union with them, because as a part of the collective, they are your friend. You are in union with them. Even if they're a nasty energy, is what he's saying. Like, even people who in the community, who seem to be like, there to antagonize and to, instigate happenings. Like, at the end of the day, they're a teammate of you. They increase you, and any energy they come with that you really don't want, you're able to burn that away with the fire that burns within you. Able to transmute that energy and turn it into something that works for you. But following your intuition to these things all while you do it. We got battle, okay? Well, we got at the bottom of the deck, self-interest. So it's like that energy, though, like, it feels kind of strong, but this is the number 5, so I feel like we're coming to the end of a lot of big spiritual battles that we have been having, but at the same time, like, we're not really having battles, is what he's saying. Let me read it, because I'm not really, like, that threw me off a little bit. It says, crows are incredibly territorial and will fight intruders to maintain order within their space. You may find that defensive feelings are brewing, whether from within or from an external source. If you have perhaps stepped on some toes or entered into someone's territory uninvited, be prepared to deal with the consequences. This card may also indicate that you will need to defend yourself against someone attempting to infiltrate your space. Okay, so he's saying there's definitely tricksters around. Okay, he had tricksters around too. It says, take notice of the crows sitting on the wires. Okay. It says they are not involved, but are watching to see which bird is the victor. This may indicate that when it comes to your situation and the battle that is brewing, there may not be much in the way of outside support for either side. Okay, this could be an advantage or a disadvantage depending on your position. So it's like, defend yourself if you have to, but for the most part, allow spirit to do it. Because it's not like there's, like, I feel like the way that you could be getting attacked, or the specific trickster energy that you're dealing with, okay, like, they're attacking you so hard. It says, whether it is a relationship to a person, a career, or a place, or a hobby, okay. So somebody's trying to create some sort of soul level connection, like, that's so deep and strong. This is bond on the next card. Okay, so someone could be trying to, like, trauma bond with you in some sort of way, but Yeshua is saying the best way through these types of happenings or through these types of issues is to just lean on the Father. Just lean on God and see in those people what God sees in them, and it makes it a lot easier for God to come in and navigate that situation. It turns it into something that gives you an advantage rather than something that puts you at a disadvantage. That's beautiful. Okay, what else? And that is in the best interest of yourself, because self-interest was at the bottom of this deck. That brings in a lot more harmony and resolution. So the notes are from the Son of Sirach, okay, chapter 50, verse 9. It says, as a fire and incense in the censer, and as a vessel of beaten gold set with all manner of precious stones. Okay, So we're going to do it in two parts. Okay. So as a fire and incense in the center. Okay. So fire is often the symbol of inspiration, and yet it is also the predominant symbol of hell, And with that, I was hearing when I was taking these notes that it's like it's up to you pretty much to decide if, like I said, you're at an advantage or at a disadvantage. Like if you want to douse your own fire by placing yourself in a hell that is a spiritual battle that you don't necessarily have to participate in, and that is up to you. It's all about the way that you respond, okay? So fire is one of the five elements that humans can produce, okay? And I thought that was so interesting, but it's big facts, okay? We can't just make water out of nowhere. We can't rub two sticks together and make water or air or any earth. But we can produce fire, okay? And this is like more symbolic, he's saying, more energetic. We can produce a fire within us. Like we cannot, even when it comes to be within us, okay, is what he's saying. Like we can't produce the water within us. We don't make our emotions happen, but we can find a way to control them. We don't make our thoughts happen, but we can make more positive thoughts happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we can take those thoughts and pull the best thing that we can do, that we can get out of them, just the same way that we can do with situations outside of us. And we are earth, so we can get grounded, and that's how we can keep that thing together. But fire is the only thing that we really have to make through the choices and decisions that we make, is how he's putting it, okay? Fire also represents wisdom, knowledge, and power. It represents passion, and it can represent comfort, because you sit by the fire and you get warm, okay? So warming up to life, warming up to the people that you run into through the power of the Father is what he's saying, okay? So increase, okay? I said increase, okay? So increase, okay? But I meant to say incense. Okay, so incense, it said that it became the image of something pleasing to God. The rising smoke came to symbolize a person or people's prayers rising up to God. So Yeshua was saying, like, make sure that you stay tapped. Like the only way to stay tapped into your knowledge and power and passion and feel that comfortability, I was going to say, feel that comfort, feel that warmth, is to stay tapped in with the Father. Create and support life. You know what I'm saying? Remain that positive guiding light in your tribal unit. And all of the prayers that you say, that you speak out into this life, okay, it rises up to God. He hears every single little thing. It says so in Psalms 141, we have the plea, let my prayer come like incense before you, So this is how your prayers are floating up to God at this time. Every single prayer, every single bit of smoke that comes up from you, it really does something for your energy. It really increases your connection with the divine. It increases that fire. That smoke comes from the fire, okay? The stronger that fire burns within you, and you're making it a positive thing, you're making it, you're creating these positive things with that fire within you, the easier it is for that smoke that comes from your fire or your prayers or your wishes or whatever it is you're putting out into the atmosphere for God to receive, is being received, okay? So the censer, or it's like, how in Catholic churches they have those metal ball things, that they swing back and forth. That's called a censer, okay? So when I looked it up, it said that a censer is a vessel used for burning incense before the Lord. Come on. So you are the vessel burning the incense, okay? You are the vessel making the smoke that rises up to God, okay? But it all comes from the fire that burns within you, is what he was saying, So the second part of the verse where it says, as a vessel of beaten gold set with all manner of precious gems, you're this vessel burning, releasing all of this smoke, all of this fire, making all of this joyful vapors, is how he's putting it, But it's like, it's not easy for you to stoke this fire. On the way to getting this fire to burn its best, you become whole, okay? You become gold, is what he's saying. But this beaten gold, okay? So like You know how they put the gold in the furnace, okay? For gold is tried by the furnace, okay? So they put that gold in there and it melts down. And when it comes out, they beat that gold into the perfect shape of whatever they want it to be. And then it is set with all manners of precious stones, okay? So when I looked up precious stones, I got sapphire, emerald, amethyst, and moonstone. So sapphire is a stone of wisdom and can symbolize truth, loyalty, inner peace, and spiritual enlightenment. Emerald is a stone of abundance. It can symbolize growth, harmony, prosperity, love, fertility, and healing. Amethyst is a stone of stability. It symbolizes tranquility, spiritual awareness, and inner peace. And the moonstone is a stone of protection. It symbolizes renewal, calm, intuition, and feminine power. These are all the precious stones that you have been set with. These are things that are within you at all times, and the more you lean on God and you release those beautiful vapors of love, and when you're asking for your guidance and you're praying and you're doing all of these beautiful things, like, it makes any battle that you come up against or any battle that you have to enter into such an easier thing to deal with. Like, realizing that you have no battles is what he's saying. Realizing you don't really have any battles. And that, like, at the end of the day, these two crows that are in this fight, they're in this thing with just them and God. And so whoever has the best intention is going to win that battle. Whoever, like, imagine if they both stopped fighting and just started praying, then there would be no battle. What are we fighting over? I'm hearing like there's enough, there's enough abundance for everyone. It says seek higher education. It says, don't you know your love is so divine? Okay. So it's like at the end of the day, you hold this beautiful divine love. You've already passed through the furnace and been set with all manner of precious stones. So battle is like ridiculous at this time. Okay. We got transformation. You've already experienced this beautiful transformation. And nobody could ever invalidate your journey or tell you that you've done a thing wrong, because God is the judge at the end of the day, okay? What else? It says, help me release all things that no longer serve me, God. And also, it's like, you can't have a battle if you're not holding on to no sort of grudge, or if you're not angry about nothing. And that's where leaning on the Father really truly does come in, because he's saying kind of like the same thing he was saying last time. Like, you think I didn't get angry? You think I didn't run into issues? You think I didn't have problems? Just look at the crucifixion itself, okay? Yeshua was the king of collected haters, okay? And he made it through all of that just by crying out to God whenever he had a problem. And God came with these miraculous resolutions to his problems just in the nick of time when he needed it the most, because he was focused on what he was here to create, what he was here to build, and what God told him to do. It says the higher power has a plan. Come on, talk to him. The higher power has a plan at the end of the day. So don't create any battles or any issues where none are needed. And don't feel the need to respond to anyone's attempt to battle you in any sort of way. Like, just let it happen and let it play out, because nobody does it better than the Father is going to do it. It says believe in other realms. Come on. So angelic energy is what that's giving me too. You have so many other energies that fight for you, and you walking into beautiful blessings because of the way you keep your faith so strong. So Yeshua is asking you not to be afraid to start over, because you might have to start over in some sort of way. He's saying maybe not completely throwing everything away, not, completely having to like leave your job and all of that. But, you're a winner at the end of the day. So if we need to move things around to make you happy, if we need to tear something down to build up something better, then we're definitely willing to do that. It says, let the universe take over the relationship, okay? So anybody that you need to battle with, this is pretty much what he's been saying the entire time. Let God take over the relationship and know that you get paid for your skills. You get paid for your skills in building healthy connections. And the more you get paid in spiritual, like this is what he's talking about. He's not talking about like real money. He's talking about you getting paid in gifts, you getting paid in grace, you getting paid in love, you attracting the real money, the real power that calls in respect naturally, because that's what it is that you truly deserve in this new cycle. So he's saying, don't be afraid to try new ideas, almost this energy of like, if you got time, I'm hearing, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Okay. If you got time to battle, you got time to grow spiritually. You got time to start a new business. You got time to do plenty of things, right? Because you got time to battle, and that's a waste of time. It says it's a divine time for enjoyment and to let the past go. What's transformation? I seen the stars, so I feel like your star power is really shining through. Okay, we got the 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, so you could be receiving lots of messages, as far as what you need to do, and also as far as certain conflicts going on. There's definitely some conflict around. It's like there's that temptation to step into the battle and to entertain it, but it's really not for you and not good for your energy at this time. And I feel like you stepped out of a lot of conflict in order to even step into this transformation. So it's like to battle someone, like really consciously step into a battle and decide to throw some sort of attack, or to even allow it to upset you, is like having an effect on the transformation. Yeah, we got the Ace of Cups. It's very important that your cup overflows. And that means choosing, okay, with the 2 of Wands, to walk away from any battles, to literally turn the other cheek and just pretend like it's not going on. Okay. I mean, of course, they're going to tell you, they're going to bring you revelation. They're going to tell you the truth, because sometimes it does affect your spiritual journey and the way that you're walking. But they're not telling you so that you can engage in the battle or start looking at these people like they're anything other than this beautiful collective of friends that you have this union through God with. Help me release all things that no longer serve me, God. Okay. We got the 7 of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Okay. He's saying like there's all kinds of energies who are going to fight this connection with God, okay? Not just because they just don't know any better, because they haven't done the work to go within to see the error of their ways yet. But that doesn't mean that they never will. And so that's why it's important that even if they're spying, or even if they're causing conflict, or whatever it is that they're doing, that you keep your eyes on the harvest, because that's what really truly does serve you at the end of the day. Everything else needs to be released, okay? What's creation? It's like God created you so that you could create, so that you could continue to have these experiences, and so that your soul could collect as much information as it needs. So the more things that you put a death to, the more wood you have to like burn on the fire. He's saying, this is how he's looking at it. Like, like if you cutting down trees, okay? So every emotional situation that you go through is a tree, and you have a choice on how you want to cut that tree down and what you want to do with that tree after you cut it down. So that's why you don't cut down a lot of trees or do a lot of emotional work at the same time, because then you're stuck with all of this wood, and it takes a while for you to burn that wood or to turn that wood into something that works for you. So it's just all piling up. And that's how some people are. They have like this excess of all of these lessons and all of these things that they haven't gone through. We even dare say that their forest is kind of overgrown, and there's all these trees growing too closely together because they're not chopping any wood. Okay. I'm here tired of chopping that wood. You deserve a sweet reward of a diet Dr. Pepper. Okay. So go on a battle diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can receive these sweet rewards. Like, really put a death to anything that isn't serve you and step into your new beginnings, knowing that the higher power has a plan at all times. What's the higher power has a plan? The Four of Wands, okay? So the plan for you is happiness and a release of things that could be burdening your mind or have been burdening your mind for a while. Like, even more so, he's saying learning to stoke the fire with positive things rather than only stroking, you know what I mean? Stoking the fire, like only throwing logs from negative situations onto the fire, you know? Like using the most positive things in your life in order to keep that fire burning inside of you. Like, we do use trauma and, you know, conflict and things like that in order to get that fire going. You know, he's saying like the friction of, you know, making the stick go like this. Okay. And it creates that friction with the grass and the rock, and you have a fire. But you don't just be sitting there, you know what I mean, burning your hands, still doing the same repetitive motion. You built the fire, so you move on to the next part of what you want to do to build the most comfortable camp that you possibly can build for yourself. All of these analogies, but I like them because it's making sense to me. Let's believe in other realms. We got the Two of Swords. It's like you have this belief in other realms. Like, you have the people who know that battle is, you know, pointless. The people that are seeing things very clearly, that have this full belief in other realms, like things are so much easier for them, for you. Okay. This makes things so much easier for you. But that's why you can't walk around, you know, in this blind state. You know, it's like with the Two of Swords, it's this more of that defensive energy. And also, like, if he's saying like doing this between the two swords, okay, that's what he was showing me. So, like, you know, teeter-tottering between the way that you think about these people who are trying to get you to engage in battle with them, you know. Like, just merging the two ways that you think of them, merging it into that view where they're the collective, they are a friend to me. Even if they're doing something negative, I know I can pull the positive from that and transmute the rest of that for them, because they're too blind or blocked or defensive to transmute that energy themselves. What's walking into beautiful blessings? So because you're doing that, or because you're going to start doing that a little bit more, you're walking into these beautiful blessings. Yeah, we got the Five of Pentacles. It's out of the cold. You stay out of the cold as long as you carry that type of mentality, is what he's saying. What's let the universe take over the relationship? The Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like, in a way, he's saying the more you let the universe, okay, or the more you let the Father take over the relationships that you're in, the more wealth you really truly do hold. That's why I said, you know, get paid for your skills. Because at the end of the day, this is a skill. You know, how many people have you heard read Yeshua's story and then be like, I don't know how, you know what I mean? I don't know how Jesus was doing it. Because I would have been, you know, knock this fool and that fool and that fool out, you know. But he's saying, like, at the end of the day, that's just like your ego. That's an egotistical, defensive way of looking at it. It's just that he had a different view on it. He wasn't naive. He could see the conflict. He could see the spying. He could see all of this going on because God made him aware of these things with the high priestess at the bottom of the deck. But he was, as a child, looking up to the divine, you know, looking to God for his direction with this Page of Wands energy. And the more he paid attention to God, the more people recognized and like put him on a pedestal only to want to tear him down. So just be very aware of that. Like, just know that because people are spying and trying to cause conflict doesn't mean you have to participate, because it comes with the territory. It just is a part of it. And that's the whole point of you knowing every single part of that story, okay? How many times you heard the story of Yeshua? So many times. You don't even ever have to read it again. You're going to know every single detail of that story. This is all about you not entrapping yourself mentally by feeling like you actually have to participate in the battle, because you don't. It's not your battle anymore. It's God's battle now. He has stepped in and taken over all of your relationships. And it's up to you to step to the side and allow him to work in that space, okay? And then things go smoother. Look, we got judgment, and then judgment comes. God comes in, takes over the relationships, and decides what is good for all involved. And that's how you keep things very smooth, and you don't feel like you're juggling, these two ways of thinking about these people. Like, you could be like, 1 minute, it's cool, it's fine, but then you can feel the attack, you can feel the projection, you can feel all of that, and it can get under your skin a little bit. Just stay in this lover's energy, though, is what he's saying. It can be a little bit hard, but when you're tempered, when you're in your earth angel energies, that is when you are in your strength. When you are at peace, when you are at calm, when your mind is clear, and when there's nothing heavy on your heart, that's when you hear God the best. That you don't ever have to lift a finger to touch nobody or nothing. All you got to do is lead by example, by choosing peace and choosing to walk into these beautiful blessings, knowing that God handles every situation that you're in. And that's how, people end up in that energy of loss. Look at this, the 5 of Cups, the devil, and the sun, okay? While you over here getting this wish fulfillment from God, okay, with the Earth confirmation, okay? What else? And then at the bottom of this deck, we got give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. So continue to give and receive love, find the value in everything and everyone, and choose to see beauty in everything and everyone. And then you see beauty in your reality. You don't even really see the conflict. It just becomes like an afterthought of something, like to the point where you're so happy and just not worried about it, where spirit has to be like, whoa, slow down. Look what they're doing. Like, we usually don't tell you, but this is an emergency type stuff, What's transformation? The Ace of Cups and the 2 of Wands. We got individuality, self-image, and approach to life, Like, you're in charge of your transformation at the end of the day with this house 1 energy. It all begins with you and the choices that you make in the day. That's what decides if your cup is overflowing or if your fire is burning brightly or not. What's help me release things that no longer serve me? The Page of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. Spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing, So it's almost like Yeshua was saying, with this house 12 energy, to like just dare to transcend all the drama, like dare to just rise above it. Like let that old drama and the thoughts of people, spying on you, trying to entrap you. I tell you these things, but only because revelation is a real thing. And that's what I'm guided to tell you. But it doesn't mean that you have to stress over it or feel like these things are problems. God tells you things after they're handled. Those things are confirmation on what you already knew was going on. Not to put you in a negative frame of mind, but to help your healing along. And then after I give you that, it's your job to sort out what's yours and what's not, and use your discernment and your power and your intention to decide what you're going to do with that information next. What's creation and death? Aquarius, okay? It says originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings, So that's what he really does want you to be focused on this star energy. Knowing that there's always going to be this outpour, he's saying this outpour from heaven, no matter where you are on the mountain, because this is the Aquarius, water jug pouring over these mountains. No matter what stage you are at climbing the mountain. Some of y'all ain't climbing the mountain, you're flying, and there's people down below and in lower vibration, trying to shoot you down out of the sky because they feel like, your happiness doesn't match their happiness. But that's just something that needs to be healed. And you're an expert flyer sometimes, very good at dodging things, or better yet, flying with this big golden ball around you, like the force field that God provided for you when he started to step in and take over your relationships. Like nothing could touch you. You truly are in a safe place. What's the higher power has a plan? The Four of Swords and the Four of Wands. House 8, okay? It says transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies, you know? I feel like, I don't know, like maybe the point is for you to just stay as focused on this transformation as possible. Maybe the point is for you to realize that you racked up so much good karma that you don't have to worry about anything bad coming in. Because like I said, you know, this is where the Four of Swords and the Four of Wands, that's that inner peace, that happiness, and that peace of mind that God plans for you to have. But you have to be willing to go along with the plan the way it's unfolding. You have to be willing to transform and face any fears along the way if you really want to build this legacy up the way that it's meant to be built. What's believed in other realms and the Two of Swords? We got Chiron with hurt and heal, you know. So believe in God's ability to bring healing to any and all situations. And if people do hurt you, you know, take that to God and allow it to be something that's healed. Like that's when the other realms, they're saying like, you know, these angels, they're amazing. And they're always open to, you know, sharing their intellect with you, always open to nurturing you and healing you, because this is what God wants for you. It's a part of the plan that God laid out for you. So you need to be open and receiving to that energy, because you have free will and they can't just come in and just start working on you. You have to have that calm, balanced state of mind where you're able to see the battle for what it is and be like, God, please forgive me for getting a little irritated, you know, forgive them. I know they're a part of oneness. I know they really truly would be a friend to me if they weren't in their, you know, in that specific spot in their path, and I forgive them and I understand where they are. And I would love it if you would just handle this spiritual battle for me so that things could be a little bit smoother going forward. And then having the faith to know that God's going to answer it in the best way possible. And as long as you stay cool, calm, and collected, how can it be escalated? It can't. The only way things can escalate is if you entertain the BS. What's walking into beautiful blessings and the Five of Pentacles? We got the Virgo, okay? So focusing on maintaining your integrity, operating with this energy of reverence and service, you know, paying much attention to what is my divine purpose and what blessings do I want to walk into now that I'm in from the code and I know I ain't got to fight nobody or try to defend myself and, you know, explain who I am to all of these people, because I know we're one, and at the end of the day, they feel me. It says a combination of tension and flow, a potential rewarding situation, you know. So bringing balance to any tension and flow that could be in your life at this time, because God's bringing in these big, beautiful blessings for you, even if they look really small. You know, happiness probably seems like a small blessing. But there's some people who never reach a state of happiness in their life. There are some people who are miserable their entire life, always think they under attack or that they have to battle, and that's not a happy place to be. So know that even if the only thing that comes in is happiness when you was expecting money, that you still got a huge blessing from the divine. You still got to touch something that most people never touch. So this energy of you being very grateful for what you get also. Let's let the universe take over the relationship, the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords, okay? We got optimism, exploration, and freedom, you know? So just be very optimistic along this journey and just don't let things get to you the way that they used to. Because now's the time for you to be, you know, using that new freedom that you got to explore. You didn't just get free, you know, break yourself out of these situations so you could go jump right into another battle. No. When I got free, I gave it all to God. And I'm still picking up stuff sometimes that I need to get to him, and I give it right to him. And I feel better when I'm done giving it to him. Sometimes it only takes a second, okay? With house 10. That is a part of building your structure and discipline in the eyes of God, though. It says structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. It's the only way to advance in your career right now at this point. Is to be tight with God, okay? To be doing what you're supposed to be doing. It says instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. And think, learn, network, and communicate so that you can dream and transcend. And then the South Node says destined to release. So definitely that energy of you posing. You might be posing, don't be posing, okay? Don't be posing, like, like how people do for pictures, okay? Like they pose for that picture, they smile, but then, that smile goes away and it's just like, a total switch in energy. Like, don't allow your energy to switch that way. Like, be very genuine about the energy that you're expressing, like just feel how you feel that day until you get to a place where you feel the same happy peace of mind every day, and not looking at that peace, that ending of battles, or that new happy future that you're trying to attract to yourself as something that you'll never reach. That optimism is what he's getting at. Don't be pessimistic. Like, I'm always going to be stuck here, because it's kind of the affirmation that could have you stuck there, because you're very powerful. But just know that God has a better plan. What's the final thought on this? We got the Eiffel Tower, all about seeing things from a higher perspective. And this archangel, angelic personal trainer, okay? So you're going through this angelic personal training, and sometimes they put you in certain situations where you need to follow your instincts, where you're like, he's saying trust building exercise, okay? Where you in these situations and they're trying to show you, okay, did you feel that? Okay, that's what we do to you when we want you to get out of there. Oh, you feel this in this situation? That's what it means when we're doing this. Like, they're teaching you how they work with you specifically. So trust that. What's the final thought on this? Power up, okay? This came out for the last one too, for Archangel Gabriel's reading. Let me get another one. The archangel of mental makeovers, okay? So perfect. And then we got suit up and show up. That's all you really got to do. You got the easy part of the job, is what Yeshua's saying. He's like, he pretty much, he laid the road, okay? And also he gave us like very specific directions. All we got to do is get to a good energy where we can understand the parables that he left for us to break down. And spread the word when we figure it out. Here's power up, and Archangel of Mental Makeovers is right here. So it says it's tune up time. You're going in for an overhaul. Popping light bulbs, computer snafus, and a foggy brain are all signs you're in the middle of a power up. That's when divine does a rewiring job. The more spiritual development work you do, the more you raise your body's vibration. Sometimes your body, brain, and soul need to be synced up. So everything seems to shut down for an overhaul. See, lights out. The process allows us to better mesh with Earth's energies. Tune in to find out what your body needs right now. Perhaps some time on the grass, saying, I release and I receive. Maybe it is time for a soak in the tub with some sea salt or essential oils. Maybe it's time to take a break from your hectic routine and let divine renew you. This heavenly fine-tuning won't last forever. Just like with the state of the art race car, you have to go off the track for a tune-up. New tires, fully charged batteries, and a full tank of gas are in order. You can't race while you're in the pit, okay? But once you're ready for the road, there'll be no catching you. Vroom, vroom, power up. So the Archangel of Mental Makeover says, if your thoughts are driving you crazy, Archangel Uriel is about to help you with a mental makeover. Divine. This lip gloss speaking to my nerves. Okay, divine has a few new ideas up its sleeve. Okay, it says Archangel Uriel is known for carrying a torch. In this case, he is using a blowtorch to create new pathways in your thinking. It may seem like you are really working your problem over with your brain, but your thoughts are actually working you over. That's why Archangel of Mental Makeover has arrived on the scene. He has seen your thinking patterns. You may have been tricked into thinking you have done some good reasoning, but Uriel believes you are following a path into a mental maze. Those spotlights he is shining are going to reveal new magical answers to some very old mental questions. Okay, it says you may find yourself having new thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere. Uriel holds a torch of divine truth. God has plenty of imagination and humor to untangle your mental maze. Uriel is his messenger when it comes to new thinking. You know how they have those giant spotlights outside of a movie premiere? Well, these spotlights tell you Uriel has arrived to help you with some new ideas. Welcome to your mental makeover. Okay, so just go with the flow. Okay, we got Black Swan right here with so that's that energy of you just letting the drama play out around you while you just focus straight forward on God. Like you can't even see it. I kept saying that, like it's not even there, because like it's kind of not even there because it's not your concern anymore because you gave it to God. So with that, I'm done. I hope you guys have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day. Okay, that you got something that you needed out of this, and I will see you later, my love. Bye.